Righto, a couple of weeks ago, mountain biking at Narooma and Mogo in southern New South Wales, absolutely top shelf, so much fun if you can get down there. Anyway, went for a ride the other day at a local trail, put my bike in the car, took the back wheel off, and guess what? It fell in half. Now this looks like a standard wheel, apart from the fact that it's missing the rotor. I've already taken this off because once you, and you can hear that that's an i9 hub, right? It's an i9 6-pawl Hydra, 690 points of engagement, 6 pawls, and if you pull this off, basically what happened was, there we go, that's the cassette, and that's the axle, but and guess what? It fell in half. Look at this. So you can see that it's sheared off here. It's a clean break. So that's the 115 tooth engagement. So there we go. Hydra mountain, and that's what the 6 pawls look like. And you can see I've got a very, very nice clean snap. Now obviously well, not obviously, I assume I've done this coming off a jump. Anyway, I've been in touch with my local retailer. I've given them the original receipt, but because it's a couple of years old, Industry 9 are not going to warrant this, which is really annoying. A replacement part for me is about 65 bucks, which I think is pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to show you how you get these damn things apart. So the reason I'm doing this is because I could not find anything on the net, and the information available on Industry 9's website just wasn't very good. So what you do is you notice that basically you've got a seal ring there, and mine snapped in the middle there, and all I've done is I've got a crappy old 10mm socket, and you can just pop this in a vise. I've already done this already, but this is the way that you do it, and I just tap that out. There we go. Just using a rubber mallet, and out that will come. And it's pretty tight, and you can see the bearing in there, and that bearing feels okay. So that's one part of it to get off. Now the other part is this. So on the other side here, that's the top of our Hydra hub, and what we want to do is we want to get this off. Now I've already unbolted the rotor, so you can see there's the rotor down there. It's a beautiful 203mm Magura, and basically what I did was put it down between 2 bits of timber like this. Again, got my little trusty socket and gave it a whack, and out it comes. Now I've already popped this one out, so it did actually require quite a bit of force, but believe me, it does come out, and that's what the other end looks like. And when you first get these are incredibly, these two ends are incredibly tight. So basically what you do, and let's do it now, my bench of crap. Okay, now it doesn't matter if you damage this because it's already stuffed. So you can see where the brake was. Here we go. Just put it in the vise with some wooden chocks. And basically I got some vice grips, wrapped some cloth around them, and basically I'm simulating what I've already done, and pull that off, and out it comes. Don't squeeze this crazy hard because you're going to need that again. Now the same goes for the other tail out there. Do that up, pair of vice grips, some cloth. So it's a press fit, and that is how you get these things apart. So they don't screw apart, they're a press fit. So that is basically how you pull apart a Hydra hub, and spin that around, see if your bearing feels alright. You're going to have to push that off anyway. That actually just slides on, and what I need to do is I need to go and get some special hub grease for this hub. If you use oil, it makes more of a sound. If you use grease, it's quieter. So Depends how much the i9 buzzing sound annoys you or impresses your mates. Up to you. Righto, so the tools for this job, you're going to need a T25 Torx bit, because that goes into, for these anyway, this goes into the nuts on the rotor. You're also going to need your extraction tool that goes into the end of your cassette, and you're going to need a chain brake to get the cassette off the hub. So just a couple of basic tools here. Rubber mallet, protect everything. Now the other thing that I use is I'm always very, very careful that all of my torques are done up to spec. So this is a great little torque wrench, by the way. 20 Newton meters or 24 Newton meters is the maximum. The axle bolt is 10 Newton meters, so I'm always very diligent with my specs on a Norco Sight C2. So there's no complaints here about incorrect torques. Righto, so all the parts have turned up. So I bought some slickoleum grease, because you can't use lithium grease and you can't use silicon grease, which would be my other two go-tos. I've given my Magura rotor a bit of a clean. That's the old broken bit. It's the old broken bit, and this is the new part. And you can see they include, this does slide off, but there we go. So that actually is the stress relief point that they've included with this, and the guy at the bike shop told me that you have to leave that on and engaged like that. So what else have we got? Got a bit of Loctite for putting the rotor bolts back in. Got some GP grease here just for putting the cassette on and things like that. So let's get into it. So this is the old main bearing, and I've just used a flat blade screwdriver just to pry off the seal cap there. And I'm going to put a little bit more grease on the inside of this just to make sure that the ball bearings inside are as well greased as they can be. Alright. Now the other bearing is tucked away in here. All the pawls are still there. So I can use my screwdriver just to pry off the dust cap and pack this one as well. There we go. Out it comes. Okay, dust cap goes back on. Nice. Now I'm using GP grease. When I go to put the cassette on, I'll use GP grease around the outside here, and of course the slickoleum goes around the inside of the pawls. Okay, now I've prized this dust cap off as well. So there we go, one bearing. So I'm going to be putting some GP grease just inside this bearing as well. Now this was, there we go, $12, and the replacement bearing sleeve from Industry 9 was 65 bucks. So if you're paying more than 65 Australian, you're paying too much. Now this is very, very, very fine. It's quite very light viscosity, this grease. And as I said earlier, apparently this grease using grease does change the sound of the i9 hub, which I couldn't care less about. But if you want more of a ratchety sound, you use a thin viscosity oil. There we go, that's pretty good in there. And there's one more bearing here, which I'll put some grease on as well. That is now extremely quiet. So I don't know if I've over greased it, but I prefer to have too much grease than not enough dry bearings. No lubrication. Ask anyone in King's Cross, not a good idea. Now, I'm going to pop this sleeve in. got to go that way. Right, when you're reassembling this, I'll put a little bit of just GP grease on this outer shaft. The black goes to the inside, and I'm only doing that because that is the way that it came out of the bike. So that is in, and all I've got to do is use a wooden mallet just to tap that. Okay, spinning beautifully. Now this end cap goes on, and obviously there's a fat end and there's a thin end. This is the fat end. The outer fat diameter is 20 millimeters exactly, and the smaller diameter is 15 millimeters exactly. There we go, that goes on like so. Got to get this off, so I'm just going to run a little bit of grease on the inside of here. Then there we go, and that is the hub assembled. It spins like a dream, beautiful. Now a little bit of GP grease on the outside of that. That's actually chewed up a little bit. So the cassette goes on next, then the rotor. There we go, that is as together as it can be. Here's my butter knife. Now, to be honest, for a hub that is so expensive, and these FR560 wheels and these two i9s were $1,500 in 2020. So I'm not particularly impressed that I've broken one. And apparently they break regularly enough. Obviously enough so that they fix up that stress point on the shaft. So not very good i9. You know, for such a premium product, you really would think that you do a bit of stress analysis and work out where the stress points were so that you didn't have this problem to begin with. Okay, one cassette. So we look for the fat bit. There it is. Look for the fat bit, and there it is, and down she goes. Now when you're pulling these apart, don't mess up the spacers because they are specific and you don't want to get them wrong. And also don't reverse these, okay? So basically pull it off and put it back on in the same order. And just do what I'm doing. If you get lost, just rotate it. It'll only go on one way. There we go. And clean all the drive cogs and the spacers as you go. It'll make a real difference to your changes. I went for a ride yesterday in the bush and it was so much smoother than it has been in a long, long time. So clean as you go and you'll be right. So just to finish this off, need the end thread, pull it all together. There's 40 Newton meters on this. Need your little spline tool there. There we go. Now I will check that. Oh, listen to those i9 hubs. Ah. Okay, now ready to go on the bike. How about we put a rotor on? I love these brakes. I think the bike would be a bit crap without them. Now it also tells you when you're putting your rotor on, if you're wondering which way it goes, it's got a direction. So it actually shows that it spins this way. So I've checked the rotation direction. I've got some 277 Loctite, courtesy of Newcastle Steelworks. Yes, I was there when it closed in 1999. Now it might be easier if I just put a bit of Loctite on each of these. Now if you've got greasy fingers, just be very careful that you don't put any grease on the rotor. Otherwise you need to get that off with isopropyl alcohol. And the bike looks a mess because I was using a drop saw, and so there's a bit of sawdust on it. There we go. Look at that. Okay, 10 Newton meters. Beautiful. We're done. Time for a ride. All right. So I just want to close off by saying that Industry 9, I reckon this is garbage. Charge $1,500 for a through axle and it snaps, and that you won't even replace it free of charge. Okay, it was only 65 bucks, but still, I reckon that's pretty piss poor.